Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could shake up the NFC East in a way we haven't seen in years. The whispers in the NFL circles are getting louder, and they point to something truly explosive. Tyreek Hill, yes, asterisk the Tyreek Hill, possibly making his way from Miami to Washington. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would Miami consider trading away their speed demon? Well, the rumors are swirling that the Dolphins might be looking to free up some cap space, around $31 million, after a rough season that saw them finish 7-10, and with Tua Tagovailoa's future clouded by ongoing concussion concerns and retirement rumors swirling around Schefter. That's right, the Dolphins are in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially on the offensive line, which gave up a staggering 50 sacks last season. So it makes sense they'd want to shift gears, especially with Waddle's extension on the table and the need to bolster their front line. But what about Washington? Well, the Commanders are apparently eyeing Hill as a game changer for their offense, especially considering how stagnant their aerial attack has been. Last season, they averaged just 210 passing yards per game. That's not exactly what you want if you're trying to compete in the NFC. Adding a player like Hill could be just what the doctor ordered. Rumors suggest the deal could be a third-round pick in the 2026 draft, which is a steal considering Hill's explosive talent. The move would help the Commanders finally crack open defenses downfield, giving Sam Howell a true deep threat and freeing up more space for Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel underneath. The impact could be immediate and game-changing. Now let's talk about Hill's profile, because this guy isn't just fast, he's a game-breaker. In 2025, he hauled in 92 receptions for 298 yards and 10 touchdowns with a PFF grade of 88.6, which is elite. His EPA per target was 0.31, and he racked up an incredible 598 yards after catch, leading the NFL in YAC. What's remarkable is that nearly 28% of his targets were deep balls. Think of the vertical threat he presents. His career stats are just as impressive. Over 80 yards receiving and 70 touchdowns, with 6 Pro Bowls and 3 All-Pro selections. His speed, clocked at a blazing 4.29 in the 40-yard dash, makes him one of the fastest players in the league, and he's not just a straight-line speedster. He's a shifty, explosive receiver who forced 25 missed tackles last season. Even with a minor hip injury that caused him to miss one game, Hill's impact remains undeniable. In 2025, his YAC per game was a staggering 35.2 yards, leading the league. That kind of explosiveness can transform any offense instantly. Why would Miami consider parting ways with Hill? Well, with a $45 million cap hit in the post-Tua era, they need to make some tough decisions. They're also prioritizing extending Waddle, which adds to the financial pressure. Meanwhile, Washington has roughly $79 million in cap space, which they can free up further through some cuts, giving them the financial flexibility to make this kind of bold move. Bringing Hill into the fold isn't just about adding a speedster. It's about elevating the entire offense, making it more dynamic, more unpredictable, and more lethal. Imagine the synergy between Hill and Terry McLaurin, two of the fastest receivers in the league. Together, they could form a duo that defenses simply can't handle. The potential impact: a 20% increase in EPA per pass, leading to an estimated 300 yards for Hill alone. That's a game changer, folks. Plus, this pairing would open up the field for the run game, benefiting players like Antonio Gibson or Brian Robinson Jr., who could see more room to operate with Hill stretching the defense vertically. Against the Eagles' secondary, which finished 31st last season, this kind of speed would be devastating. It's reminiscent of the Metcalf trade in 2025, where Seattle's offense jumped from 25th to the top 8 in the league, and turnovers decreased by 14%. Hill's impact could be just as transformative for Washington, helping them not just compete but contend. Looking ahead to the playoffs, the odds of Washington making a deep run would skyrocket. Bookmakers like Caesars have already increased their Super Bowl odds for the Commanders from +15.0 to +4.500, recognizing the added firepower. Hill's playoff experience with over 100 yards in postseason play makes him a clutch performer when it matters most. His speed and ability to stretch the field could be the difference maker against top defenses like Tampa Bay's, which struggled against deep balls last season. If the Commanders can land Hill, it would send a clear message to the NFC that they're all in, ready to make a serious push toward the Super Bowl. And let's not forget the broader NFC East rivalry implications. The Eagles and Giants will have to keep up with Washington's new firepower, and a move like this would definitely shift the division's balance of power. Hill's addition would turn the Commanders' offense into one of the most explosive in the league, forcing opponents to rethink their defensive strategies. The NFC East has always been a fierce battleground, but with Hill, the Commanders could finally have that extra gear needed to take down rivals and make a real playoff push. To sum it all up, this kind of move, if it truly happens, isn't just a splash, it's a statement. It's the kind of bold, aggressive decision that could propel Washington back into serious Super Bowl contention. Hill's blazing speed, combined with the talent already on the roster, would create a nightmare for defenses and give the Commanders a shot at finally breaking through that glass ceiling. The NFC East rivalry is about to get even more heated, and the deadline for trades is approaching fast. Fans, get ready for some fireworks because this could be the start of a new era in Washington. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Commanders fans? Is Tyreek Hill the piece that finally puts Washington over the top? Could he be the missing link that turns this promising team into a legitimate Super Bowl contender? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below. Do you believe this move would be worth the draft capital? Are you excited about the potential of seeing Hill in that burgundy and gold jersey? Personally, I think it's a game changer, and I can't wait to see how everything unfolds in the coming weeks. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this one could be one of the biggest yet for the Commanders. And remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, rumors, and analysis, so stay tuned. The NFC East is heating up, and Washington is right in the middle of it. This is going to be an exciting ride, and I'm glad you're with me every step of the way. Keep the faith, Commanders Nation, because the future might be brighter than ever. Thanks for hanging out, and go Commanders.